Okay, so this is our fitness tracker review. We've got four budget fitness trackers that we have ordered off of Amazon. I'm going to throw links into the description below for all of these if you want to test any of these out on your own. All of these fitness trackers are going to run you less than $100. So these are out there to compete with the Fitbits. So at the far left here, we've got starting at our lowest price point, which is about $25 on Amazon. Then we've got our middle two here, which range to about $40 to $50. And then on the far end, we have the Garmin VivoFit 3, which will run you about $70 to $80 on Amazon. So we've got these all lined up here for you, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate one of these, because this one here, which is the DF30 Smart Bracelet, only worked for about an hour, and then it completely died on me. The app is not very well designed. It lost all connection to the device. Even when I recharged it, restarted the devices, restarted the watch, it would no longer connect. So even though this one did have some great features I was really hoping to work on, it is now going to be eliminated. So I'm going to remove that from our listing here, and then we're going to get into the details of the rest of them. Alright, so then there were three. Now we're down to our ones that actually worked for me while I was testing these guys out. So I have worn the Very Fit and the Next Shine model for over a week now. The Garmin, I have been wearing it for 2 days, and I gotta say, while some of them have impressed me, some of them have left me lacking as well. So I'm going to go through some of the devices here and go through some of what works and what doesn't with each device. So let's start off here on the left with the Very Fit. So the Very Fit has a nice slim design. It has a nice band to it. It has a LED touchscreen on it. So you can see here I'm flipping through some of the devices, and I don't know if you guys just heard that or not, but my dog just booted it behind me here. It was actually kind of funny. He's got a new toy and he's playing with it. So this is great. Yeah, so anyways, back to the band here. So this is very slim, so it's very inconspicuous. So if you are somebody that is not trying to be so out there with your fitness tracking, this one will hide very nicely on your wrist. Now, to charge it, it doesn't come with a charging cable. What it does is you pull off the end of the band, which these are interchangeable bands, so you can order up other bands for it as well. But you can see here it just plugs into a USB port, so it's got the little connectors there. It'll power up through USB. The charging time on this guy is about an hour and a half, and it lasted me 7 days on one charge, which is pretty good. The instruction manual says that you should expect 5 to 7 days on it. On the 7th day, there was still about 20% battery life left on this guy. So that's pretty impressive, actually. The next one we have here is the Next Shine. So the Next Shine, again, it has that same method of charging. So again, you pull off, oh, and I pulled off the wrong one here. So let's put that back together. I'll pull off this side here. So as you can see, it's got the same charging on it. It's got the connectors there. This right here is your heart rate monitor. Now, running the heart rate monitor on this device drastically reduced the battery life on it. So again, if you're using it, I wouldn't suggest checking your heart rate very often, as it is going to diminish the length of time you can get off of this. As far as going for battery life on this one, I had to charge this twice over the period of the week, so I got about, let's say, 3 days off of a charge on this one. Again, I think a lot of that is because of the bigger screen that it is running. So as you can see here, I actually charged this the other night, and it's already down a cell on the charger there. But yeah, so that one there, a little bit lower on the battery life, but it does have the heart rate monitor in it as well. And then we go over to the Garmin here. So the Garmin is really nice. I like this one because you actually don't have to charge it. It comes with a battery in it. You just have to change the battery approximately once a year. And this guy here, like I said, so far has been excellent. It's got a nice band on it. I really like the connector on the band. It's got a locking system here, so once you connect it up to your wrist, you can lock this in place. and you don't risk losing it. Now again, just like the other two, it does come, you can get a rechargeable band, or not rechargeable, interchangeable, let's try that again, interchangeable bands for this for you guys. So again, I've ordered up a bunch of interchangeable bands for this for myself for the purposes of my own personal use. Now, when it comes down to it, a lot of these things are really much the same. Really much? That's not a word. That's not a sentence. Let's try that again. A lot of these are very much the same. So when you're looking for something like this, really what you want to get into is some of the higher end details of them. Like, example, this one has a heart monitor. The VivoFit Garmin, you can order as an external heart monitor if you're doing a lot of running or hiking and you want to be able to track your heart rate with it. You can get that heart rate monitor online for about $25 to $30 Canadian. You just connect it up through the app and it will link to the Fitbit or to the VivoFit as well, and then allow you to track your heart rate too. Now the Very Fit does not have a heart rate monitor in it. Basically, it is a step counter and a sleep counter. All three of these will do your sleep for you as well. Now, again, like I was saying, when it comes down to is the apps. The app on the Very Fit isn't as good as the other two when it comes to your sleep tracking. What that one will do, and I will just try and pull up some of my sleep habits for you here to see over the period of the week that I was testing it. Just give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so sleep. So it is not showing anything. Why is it not showing anything? There we go. So if we go back over the period of a couple week, the week here, if we click on Wednesday, let's look at month. Oh, it's not looking at anything. Okay, so we can't really see this here. Again, this is another downfall of this app. It's not very in-depth. You can't go back and see a lot of the stuff that you have done. What it would show you, if I could go back and show you, like again, I haven't been using this one for a couple of days now, so I don't have anything to show you from last night's sleep patterns, but what it would show you is two lines on a graph going up here, and it will show you, it doesn't show you your hourly breakdown of how you were doing, whether you were sleeping in deep sleep, a light sleep, or whether you were awake. It basically just shows you a total overall. So the top line will be your total sleep time, and your second line will be your amount of deep sleep time. So that's again where this one tends to lack on the sleep side of things. If we look at the Garmin and the Next Shine, so if we go into the Garmin here, I can actually show you last night's sleep patterns for that. So if we go into the Garmin here, you can see it's a much nicer, cleaner app, and it shows you the breakdown by time as to whether you were asleep lightly, deeply, or whether you were awake. So you can see there's a slow period here of about 2 minutes where I was considered to be awake. Most of my sleep was light sleep, and there was a good chunk of deep sleep. Now, the one thing I do find about this is that it is very much relying on your input. So when you set up the app, you tell it what time you go to sleep and what time you normally wake up. So as you can see here, there's periods where it says I was lightly sleeping, where I was actually awake, but it was because I had set the app to say this time to this time for my sleep patterns. Now the Next Shine is the same as far as that goes for the breakdown of your sleep. So I'm just going to load this up here and see if I can go into the older sleep patterns. Sorry, I got those backwards. The one I showed you originally was for the Next Shine. This one that I'm showing you now is going to be for the Very Fit. So with the Very Fit, you can see here I can go into the app and I can see the details of the week so far. So that's my activities. Now if we go into the sleep, you can see where I've stopped using the device and how it's tapered off there, but you can see the two lines that I was telling you about before as to the deep sleep and the light sleeping, or the total sleep time up there at the top. And then again at the bottom here, it gives you some details on your sleep patterns, your average wake up time, your average sleep time. Again, these numbers I find are very off from the start sleep time and the end sleep time because of the fact that I really don't know on this one. You don't program in on this one what your sleep time is, but I can tell you that these start and stop times are not the actual times that I've been awake and asleep. Um, I'm a little bit of a night person. I'm usually up quite late into the night, so this 11:44 p.m. is pretty far off. And again, the mornings I'm usually up a lot earlier than it's indicating here. But again, it shows you your average awake hours while you're sleeping. So 15 minutes is my average time that I spend awake while I'm sleeping between those two times. So again, as far as sleep trackers go, they're all fairly good. I really like the Garmin for the total sleep time because it does have a much slicker feel to the app. Now the Next Shine has a little bit of an issue that I was noticing. So all three of these have a high IP rating. So what your IP rating is your IP rating is the dustproof and waterproofing of the device. So the Very Fit and the Next Shine are both rated at IP67. So the number breakdown on that is the 6 is the dust rating, which is 6 is the highest for dust rating on them. And the last number, which is the 7, is the waterproofing. So 7 waterproofing should allow you to submerge the device for a period of 30 minutes under a meter of water. The Garmin VivoFit 3 is a IP68. What the 68 is a much higher waterproofing on it, which will allow you to submerge it to up to 5 meters for a longer period of time. Now with the Very Fit and the Next Shine, the problem I had was on the Next Shine. You can go in here. You can see on the menu, if we hold down the menu button, it goes into a submenu. And in that submenu, there is a reset button. Now that reset button, for some reason, when you're taking a shower, let's say, the water droplets on the screen will activate this menu and it will go absolutely nuts under the water dropping. So I had this actually go off and reset itself while I was taking a shower with it because the water had somehow managed to get it into this submenu and hit the reset button on me. So again, whether you want to get this one and if you're looking to use it for showering purposes as well, I would not recommend this one for that. The touchscreen on the Very Fit Active did not do the same thing. It was great for that. I had no issues with this one resetting itself. It worked perfectly fine. The the VivoFit 3 Active Tracker, it has like I said, a IP rating of 68, which means you can actually swim with this device. This device is one of the few that you can use for swimming. And it will track because it has a specific movement IQ rating in it that will track your swimming as calories burned still. So again, of these three, the Garmin VivoFit 3 is one of my by far the favorites. It also has built-in GPS. So if you're going out running with this device, you don't have to take your phone with you. It will still track, and then when you get back to your phone, you just sync it with your phone and it will load up everything into your tracking. The other thing I want to show with this device here is that the Connect Garmin and the Very Fit Pro both work with MyFitnessPal. So for those of you out there using fitness tracking apps, MyFitnessPal is a calorie intake app that allows you to track the food you're eating as to how many calories, as well as giving you a calorie number per day that you should be burning. With the Connect Garmin, it will actually link to the MyFitnessPal exercise portion and convert your steps per day into extra calories for your intake. This means that you don't have to input your individual exercises into the FitnessPal app to track your progress. Now the Very Fit Pro works with Google Fit as well. So if you're a Google Fit user, the Fitness Pro works very well for that. So these are the three that I have reviewed. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you have any comments you want to make, whether you've tried some of these out yourself, that's great. check it again. Drop them in the comments below as to your opinions of them and which ones you like. I'm going to put the links in the description for all of these guys, so if you want to go ahead and pick some of these up, there's this one here. The Very Fit will cost you approximately $25. The the Next Shine will cost you approximately $40, and the Garmin VivoFit will cost you approximately $80. My favorite, the Garmin. Next in line, the Very Fit. The Next Shine, I probably wouldn't order that one myself, but it's up to you guys. Again, let me know what you like. We're going to do some more of these review videos of these things coming up, so stay tuned to the channel. Thank you. Give me a thanks and hit that subscribe button, and I'll give you a thank you back with some entries to some draws that we're giving away. For the month of February, we are giving away the Android box that we recently reviewed. We did have a winner on our Google Home Mini for the month of January, so congratulations to that winner. If you want to know who the winner was, go ahead and watch our Android box review. It will have for you the winner at the end of the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.